What's up, guys? Welcome to the Rest Hold Podcast, Episode 2. This is our Money in the Bank recap, hosted by your boy, Tanner Fred, and me, Zach Foreman. Tanner, say what's up to the people.
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fine week post Money in the Bank?
Look, guys, just to get started, I want to thank everybody for the overwhelming support we got for Episode 1. It's a work in progress. I know we're not great, we're not perfect, but we're just here to entertain you guys and talk a little wrestling. So thanks again.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, everyone who followed on Instagram. at resthold_pod, Twitter, resthold_pod, and subscribed on YouTube. YouTube channel is Rest Hold Podcast. To find us, though, for some reason you have to search resthold_pod, and then our channel will pop up. So.
Yeah, guys, it's a work in progress, but thanks to all the support we got. 23 subscribers on YouTube already, 87 views on the video.
I think we're at 90 actually. Last time I checked.
Yeah, so thanks again. That's our little intro, but let's get to it. All right, before we get started,
a little bit of breaking news. Well, probably not for you guys watching, but breaking news for us right now.
Yeah, so we're recording on Wednesday. It's about almost 9 o'clock here, 9 o'clock Eastern. Daniel Bryan
supposedly is all elite.
Daniel Bryan is all elite, guys.
That's what we're hearing. That's what the words on the rumor wheel is. Our inside sources are telling us that Daniel Bryan has signed a contract with All Elite Wrestling.
Yeah, you can bank on us. Site Rest Hold Podcast breaking the news.
Yeah.
They
world's
call me
first. World's first here.
The Wrestling Adam Schefter. All right. So this week, another great week.
It was a week.
Okay.
It was a week of wrestling.
It was a week of wrestling.
Great is interesting.
All right.
It had great moments.
Yeah, let's call it a great Friday and a great Sunday.
Okay.
Let's call it a great Friday and a great Sunday.
That's fair. Yeah, I can get behind that.
So, I think Money in the Bank might have been pay-per-view of the year.
So far? Mania, but...
No. I think
this is better than WrestleMania?
I think for me, even the two nights, I think Money in the Bank, the highs were higher and the lows were higher. The worst match for me in Money in the Bank was the women's Money in the Bank.
Yeah, that's probably true. That match left a lot to be desired. I liked the ending. I know a lot of people didn't.
I called it.
I thought it was interesting. Because it was like, yeah, you did call it. Yeah, all right, yeah. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, because you don't normally see that. It's normally just like, knocked down, someone climbs up, pulled off the ladder, someone climbs up, pulled off the ladder. But it was cool to see just like,
everybody's up there.
And Nikki just wins.
Pulls a fast one.
Just pulls a fast one. The heist of the century, even.
Some are saying. I'm not, but some.
Yeah, some. Not us. Definitely not us.
Not this podcast.
But probably some.
You know what I didn't like? Felt slow.
It did feel a little slow.
Some people, not to point fingers, didn't look like they belonged there. I'm going to point fingers. Tamina didn't belong in that match.
Yeah, Tamina didn't belong. Tamina serves her purpose for what she does. Don't put her in a ladder match.
No, she's good, and she, like you said, she serves her purpose. And you put the tag titles on them. Yeah, I think it's a placeholder.
It's definitely just a veteran name on the belts. Give it a little credibility.
But she's not cut out for that match.
No, it's too fast paced.
Too fast paced.
Especially when you have I don't think Zelina was at her best this Sunday.
No.
But I think Liv was.
Yeah.
I thought Liv was really, really good this match. Nikki looked pretty good. Bliss was doing her weird thing.
Let's just get this out in the open. The supernatural stuff, now the fans are back. It's not going to cut it.
It doesn't hit the same.
It's not going to cut it, guys.
It doesn't really work the same way.
No.
Unless you do a cinematic match, which I think they're still going to steer away from, especially for her by herself.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work the same.
Yeah. So now that fans are back, I'm of the mindset we won't see a cinematic match for a while.
I don't think we'll see one until Bray comes back anyway. He was kind of the mastermind of that.
Yeah.
At least in WWE. I know Matt Hardy popularized it.
Yeah.
But in WWE, it was kind of just Bray was the only one.
And
other than The Undertaker, who did one. Bray had, 4?
Cena, Braun, Randy.
Yeah. And I guess you could call the one with Randy and Edge cinematic, but it really wasn't.
Yeah.
And then the Money in the Banks, but that's beside the point.
Well, quick talk about the women again. On SmackDown, going into Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
Title match? Your thoughts?
This past one or the one that's coming up now? Because now there's another one.
Right. So let's address the past one.
I thought it was good. I mean, Carmella showed out a little bit It was not as much of a squash as I expected it to be, but there was no doubt in my mind Bianca was winning.
Oh yeah, no doubt in my mind. So the thing for me is they did the best they could with what they got.
Mm-hmm.
They had to build a rivalry per se on a 1 week notice.
Yeah.
So I wasn't interested in the match. I never thought for a second that Bianca could lose.
Yeah.
But with what they had, already a predictable outcome, they did okay.
Yeah, I thought it was a good match that they put on. Like, not taking away from the women, it was just there was no shot that Carmella was winning. Just like coming off of that, like going from Bayley just to, oh yeah, now it's Carmella on Friday.
Yeah.
It was never going to happen.
Zero chance. Zero chance.
I think there's even a less chance she wins this Friday.
Yeah.
So
can
somehow less than zero, but yeah.
Coming up this Friday, they're doing the rematch, which is what we're hinting at. Is there a reason for this rematch except, like, outside of them needing a presence at this Rolling Loud concert?
Yeah, I think it's a call-up or a debut. I think it's Toni Storm.
You think Toni Storm debuts at Rolling Loud?
I think they're hot-shotting Toni Storm for the belt. I don't think she's going to, like, necessarily interfere, but I think
a presence will be
there, whether it be during or post-match.
I absolutely hope that's what they're doing because I have less than 0% interest in this match right now.
I mean, again, it'll be good. It'll be a good match.
But the outcome is already...
It's determined.
Yeah, it's done.
It's Bianca.
Unless,
Bianca. I mean...
No, it's Bianca.
I think it's Bianca, but, I mean, it's possible. They've done weirder things this week.
Staying on track with the women's division, has there been a Money in the Bank since Carmella that has been more than a week?
In the women's division?
In the women's division. I don't think there has been.
Was Bliss before Carmella?
Bliss was before Carmella. No, I don't know.
Bliss was a little bit.
Because I think it was...
Hers lasted a little while. No, hers was the same night.
Yeah.
Hers was the same night.
Same night. Then it was a week. Then a day.
Who was a week?
Was Asuka's?
Well, no, Asuka got the belt.
But that
was the next night.
Yeah, okay.
So that doesn't even count.
The women's Money in the Bank has been almost instant turnaround since Carmella.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, Carmella held it for a little bit, didn't she?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Carmella held it for...
So the last three have been instant turnaround.
Almost a year, right? 200 and
She held it for
days.
a while.
Yeah.
She did hold it for a while.
So...
The problem is, like, I just don't think they know what to do with it. They just have no idea what to do with it.
So where they messed up the men's last year with Otis, they just keep doing the same thing with the women on a quick turnaround. Mm-hmm. This year with Big E, though, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit more about Big E later.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have some interesting stuff to talk about with him.
Mm-hmm.
But it was our dark horse going in.
Yeah.
I would have preferred other people,
mm-hmm.
but it was kind of the one that was right in front of our nose.
And we just didn't take it, yeah. So back on SmackDown, though, that Fatal 4-Way.
Oh, real good.
That Fatal 4-Way. You put really, four guys in there that can just go.
Mm-hmm. I think Seth winning was the right choice.
Yeah.
Because we got everyone like, oh, God, Seth's going to repeat. Here it is.
Mm-hmm.
Here we do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just comes up just a little short. Just a little bit short.
Yeah. I mean, Kevin Owens, man. Kevin Owens taking these bumps.
Kevin Owens is out of his mind.
He's selling out for the fans.
He's out of his mind.
I love it.
I mean, he did say he wanted to jump off the ship in Tampa, but they didn't let him.
I mean...
Which is definitely the right choice to not let him.
Yeah, if you guys would have seen that ship.
That ship was really, really high. I don't know what it looked like on TV. I never watched it back. That ship was like 50, 60 feet off the ground. Yeah, easy.
Very high.
Easily. Like,
a jump he wouldn't have survived.
Absolutely not. No, he was done. That was a career-ending jump, 100%.
Would have made Shane jumping off Hell in a Cell look like child's play.
A joke.
Yeah.
Like an absolute joke.
Absolute child's play. We had Money in the Bank happen, so everybody knows the outcome already. Mm-hmm. But Friday night, Edge and Roman really set the scene.
Absolutely. I mean, it's interesting because we did talk a little smack about Edge last week.
We did.
But Edge is really good at convincing me he's going to win when I know he's going to lose.
Oh.
Even during the match, I was just like, I know Roman's winning, but Edge might do it. He might do it.
And about that, the little hint of Seth Rollins, and, all the rumor mills were Seth versus Edge, Seth versus Edge happening at SummerSlam. Mm-hmm. And then Seth's little behind-the-stage promo after his loss, it really made me think they're going to put the belt on Edge.
I thought for sure they were like, all right, Edge and Seth for the belt is what we want as our main event.
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I thought, like, all right, this is what we're going with.
Yeah.
I did call the return of
a
good friend John Cena.
Yep.
I didn't call him returning.
but someone returning.
Yeah. They did the classic Edge and Seth brawl outside the ring,
Mm-hmm.
make room for somebody to come down thing.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I saw that happen, I'm like, all right, who's coming?
Yep, they panned the camera right to the...
I thought it was Brock.
Yeah,
For sure it was Brock.
I'm really happy it wasn't. For Roman.
I was happy Sunday. Then I was very not happy Monday.
Well,
but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah. So, Money in the Bank pre-show opens up.
It was a pretty good match. It was okay.
Usos and the Mysterios.
The problem is, we talked about this on Sunday while we were watching. Tag matches are just, they're kind of underwhelming at this point unless they're really, really, really good.
Yeah, so we've seen people get after it, left and right. And now, this is again, Dominic is good for where he's at. He's a new wrestler.
He's good for where he should be.
Right. He's good for where he should be. He would be a quality NXT wrestler right now. Get his reps in, get better. He's not championship level yet.
No, he's just not there yet.
He's just not there yet.
You can't have your champ doing his main move as arm drags. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, he's pretty good arm drags, but like, that's not a championship guy. And that's not taking anything away from Dominic. Like, he's
because like
young,
we said,
and
he's good.
He's good for where he should be.
But
he's just not good for where he is.
Right, and it's starting to make me, well, not starting to. I am of the position now where I don't want to see the Mysterios on TV.
Oh, but you will.
Oh, we will.
Quite a bit. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, as the pay-per-view progressed, they obviously are setting up for a rematch at SummerSlam.
I don't know.
With the way the main event played out, I think this gets taken to SummerSlam.
I think it might happen before SummerSlam, and then they move into something else, hopefully. I think Usos and Street Profits would be really cool.
Usos and Street Profits.
Montez can go. I don't know what the status is with that or where he's been. But
and sneakily, Naomi, now a member of the SmackDown roster.
The Bloodline.
Draped in gold.
Reach a little bit.
Draped in gold. What do we see? A mixed tag.
Maybe
all
that's
belts
what
on
it is
line?
on Friday then, and not Tony. Maybe it's Naomi.
That would be fun.
That would make a lot of sense. Actually,
Rolling Loud would go crazy for Naomi.
Absolutely.
I think that if we
How did they get Rolling Loud? How did that happen? Who reached out to who, do you think? Had to be WWE.
WWE has had such a strong presence in Florida now for
That's true.
a year and a half. They probably had this concert coming through for Miami, and it benefits both parties.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, to me personally, it benefits WWE more. You're going to tap into an audience that you wouldn't normally reach.
Rolling Loud doesn't need WWE.
No,
but they're not hurting without them. But it might bring people to the concert, too,
right.
that wouldn't normally come to the concert.
Right, and it'll definitely bring people to WWE that would normally not be there.
Or people that, used to watch. Yeah. But it's like, oh, but it's here, I'll go watch.
Absolutely. So that's going to be great for them. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it's actually really good for both of them.
I don't know how they're going to pull it off, necessarily.
I think it's going to be really weird.
Yeah.
Especially because if they're not
the other
all
one's
there.
In Cleveland.
Yeah, that's why I think is a little weird.
Yeah.
That's why it makes me think there's kind of like a last minute thing, maybe.
Yeah, they just threw it together.
There's Rolling. There's somehow they're like Rolling Labs, like, oh, you guys want to come here? Or they're like, hey, we finally figured this out. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So let's say that is true. Let the imagination run wild for a little bit. Naomi is the surprise entrant. The call up.
Okay.
Interferes. Do we see a mixed tag for all the belts?
No.
You don't think WWE goes down that that lane?
What, you think?
The Usos and Naomi.
Naomi against Street Profits
and Bianca, all the gold.
Maybe.
I think it would be fun.
I think it has the potential to be really fun.
It would be something different too.
It would be really hard to pull off, to be honest, because mixed tag is hard enough.
Yeah, but
now you throw another person in there.
Yeah.
That'll be really tough. But I mean, if there's anybody in the business right now who I think could do it in WWE, it's probably.
I was gonna say, if there's 6 people that could pull it off, those would be the 6.
Yeah. It's probably definitely up there for those 6.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on. So we have AJ and Omos.
I mean, Omos looking better and better every week. Guy's dominant.
AJ and Omos versus the Viking Raiders was supposed to be a come-down match.
It was not.
It blew no offense to the women again, but it blew the women's Money in the Bank out of the water.
Absolutely, yeah. And it was a lot longer than I expected it to be. Yeah. They really let him go, which
absolutely
was good,
not
really
a come-down spot.
And I know the Viking Raiders are challenging again on Monday, right?
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
So, AJ and Omos would have had spot of the night.
The toss over the ropes?
That would have been spot of the night.
I think so, if not for Ricochet.
Yeah,
Ricochet had spot of the decade. It's the 2021. Yeah.
Seth's RKO when he was sky high was probably spot of the decade for me.
That's true. Definitely spot of the year.
Spot of the year
Easily
for sure.
Spot of the year.
For sure. That was nuts.
Yeah.
Absolutely
I don't know if you guys
nuts.
have seen the picture of
The
like
still?
the side view, the still.
Yeah.
If not, we'll post it at some point.
Yeah, we'll post the
It's
still to our Instagram
crazy.
and Twitter. But
Crazy. He doesn't get enough credit. He needs to be rewarded for the effort he puts in.
Came falling off a 10-foot ladder, landed feet flat on the top rope, no hand support.
Yeah.
Front flips off into another
like
10-foot drop.
15 feet in the sky.
Yeah.
Like I think he was easily like 12 to 15 feet.
Yeah, unreal.
The
guy's a freak athlete. We said it last week on our podcast that Ricochet was going to tear the house down in that match.
Yep.
He was a blessing to have in the match. And guy like Ricochet, I think he's Kofi waiting to happen. I think he keeps showing up. He keeps putting on great matches. Keeps putting on great spots. Eventually, he's getting a belt.
I think he needs like a legit tag team partner for a little bit.
But he went down that road.
That's how Kofi. I mean, Kofi had the IC belt for a little bit.
Yeah.
But Kofi's tag partner is what, Evan Bourne for a little bit.
Yeah, Kofi did the rounds.
He did.
But Ricochet came up with Aleister Black. They were tag champs, right?
Yeah, but like, they didn't work.
And then, well, no, they didn't.
He needs somebody that works like with him.
And I hope they don't force that Humberto thing.
Him and Humberto.
Yeah, don't force that on me.
They're like too similar.
Yeah.
But like Humberto's just not as good. I don't think. Not that Humberto's bad.
And I think Humberto's gonna be off TV for a little while.
Yeah.
After what Sheamus did.
I think for sure. I think that was just to get Priest into that.
Mm-hmm.
I like Priest in there too.
Yeah,
It'll be
thrilled.
interesting.
Thrilled
yeah,
for
it'll
that.
be really, really fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Rob Lash.
What a guy.
He said
that
it. He said it.
Exactly what we needed from Bobby.
They found a way
reestablish himself.
To make Bobby Lashley's last 3 weeks of being rolled up, being distracted, like they made it look like it was the greatest storytelling ever.
Yeah, and it was terrible. It was awful storytelling. But
and they made it look
ended
great.
up being like pretty good storytelling, which is pretty shocking coming from a lot of the things that we've seen out of WWE lately in terms of their storytelling.
Yeah, but I mean, Bobby Lashley decimated Kofi Kingston.
Ridiculous. And I know I said under a minute or under 5 minutes. This was fine. This did the job.
Exactly. If it was a long match where Kofi looked competitive, no, wouldn't have done the job. But Bobby Lashley dominated start to finish for 8 to 10 minutes.
Yeah. This was, I don't want to compare it to this and say that it was the same thing, but this was very similar to when Brock took both belts off Cena.
Yeah.
In terms of
tossed him around.
Brock could have finished that in 30 seconds if he wanted to. Bobby didn't want to beat Kofi.
Extreme Rules?
No, I think it was Night of Champions. It was Night of Champions, and then he beat him again at SummerSlam.
Right.
But that was one of those things where Bobby could have won right away. But Bobby didn't want it. Bobby wanted to punish Kofi for his insolence.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally it.
That's
Bobby
exactly
came out Monday. He said, I'm leaving Kofi in a bag of bones. He came out Sunday, and he left Kofi as a bag of bones.
Yep.
I mean,
Kofi on Raw? He wasn't, right?
He wasn't on Raw. Yeah. No, sir. And
I think he's about to be all elite soon after that beatdown. No, I'm just kidding. I'm playing.
No. Dude, you can't lose Kofi, too.
No,
but
absolutely not.
Shouts to Kofi.
Yeah, Kofi put on a great performance, even though he didn't do anything, air
no,
quotes.
but that's what you're supposed to do.
That's what he did. Kofi did a job for Bobby.
When you're putting over a champion the way they're putting over Bobby Lashley, you need a guy like Kofi to take the fall.
Yeah, 100%. And Kofi has always been a company guy.
Yep.
And I'm glad that that's the story they ended up telling, and not that the Kofi really did have a chance. So.
And look, Kofi Kingston is now a WWE household name. I think that's fair to say. If you're a fan of WWE you know Kofi Kingston. And he had a phenomenal run. The people are always behind him. And now when he's in big matches, people think he can win.
And people tune in.
People believe Kofi Kingston can win. So when you have him go out there and you have Bobby Lashley do what he did, it takes Bobby Lashley to another level.
Absolutely.
An absolute another level.
Absolutely. It's like the same thing. It's like when Brock beat Cena.
Yeah.
Like, people knew who Brock was, but like when he decimated Cena, it was like, yo, what is this?
He's back.
Yeah.
He's back on the map. And the thing I was reading a little bit, preparation for this, of course. They were saying, has WWE ever done something where they've had two champions look as strong as these two champions have looked? in this era of the the Universal
it's funny
heavyweight.
Because we'll talk about it a little bit more later when we talk about Friday. Or, no, we'll talk about it a little bit more Sunday and Monday. I don't think Roman looks that strong. And we'll talk about that why.
Right.
But I don't think Roman looks strong right now. I think Roman's in a lot of trouble.
Let's jump ahead a little bit to the main event then.
Okay.
Roman kind of dictated the pace to start. I feel like
that match was really not great to start.
No, but it was
pretty slow.
They had a big time slot to fill.
That is true.
So they were going for a little while. What was it, almost 40 minutes?
They went for about 40 minutes. Yeah. Well, from entrance
to conclusion was about 40 minutes.
End conclusion, not at the end of the match, but full conclusion. Yeah, about 40 minutes.
Yeah, and Edge is a little older of a guy.
Yeah, but he was still going.
So but you can't go 100 miles an hour the whole time. But yeah, Roman Reigns dictated the pace a little bit. They gotta let him win clean.
I don't think they do because he's a heel, and heels don't win clean.
Yeah, and maybe not over Edge.
And the thing is, he's a different type of strong than Bobby.
Right.
He's not your, I'm going to overpower this guy and just embarrass him. That's not what Roman is. Roman's, I'm going to win. It doesn't matter how I won. I'm going to win, and you're going to acknowledge that I beat you. So to Roman, the means justify the ends no matter what. Whereas Bobby is like, I'm going to embarrass you in front of everyone.
Because
Bobby and then beat you when I decide.
Yeah. So obviously, I get what you're saying, and the character for Roman is more captivating than the wrestler.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, if you know what I'm saying. But it's almost... The character's not getting old to me. I don't want to say that.
No, it definitely isn't.
But you can almost count on the match having an Uso interference or some other interference or a ref distraction or something. And I get it, you're building a heel champion. He's the greatest heel of the last 5 years right now. But maybe if you were going to move on from this Edge feud, maybe just let him win, especially because you're not going to lose anything by having him lose and then go face Seth Rollins. I know Edge looks stronger now going to face Seth Rollins by not losing clean. But I don't think you lose anything necessarily if he would have lost clean.
I think it's weird because we kind of should have seen something like this coming since the crossface spot.
Yeah.
Like, we should have known that somehow that was getting involved.
Yeah.
So whether that was they changed the match type
or ref distraction
or Usos distraction, something like that. So we should have saw that coming. And I think it would have been... I mean, you could do it where Seth is just like, the next Friday, so like, Edge, you did this to me. Like,
yeah, because it's weird, because after the Money in the Bank match, which we'll talk about, Seth had that promo backstage where I could have sworn he said, I'm not waiting, I'm next man up, the winner.
He did say
tonight.
We had an argument that Sunday. He didn't say, I'm doing something tonight, as far as I remember. I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
I'm pretty sure he said, whoever wins, I don't care who wins tonight, I'm next man up.
Right.
Or I'm next in line, whatever he said. But I'm pretty sure that was the verbatim quote.
Yeah, however he said it, he was insinuating he is going to come out on Friday.
Even after.
Or after, right, and be the next man up.
Yeah.
But instead, we got the interference. And look, I don't mind the interference. I get it. It makes sense. It sets up Edge versus Seth at SummerSlam. But be a little bit more like...
the thing is, like, you didn't really need it.
Don't mince the words.
Now that I think about it, he could have just, like, came out right after Roman won, like, faced him off, and then just started beating up Edge. Like, that would have done the same thing for me.
Right. And the distraction piece that we were talking about, we don't need Seth Rollins to interfere.
No,
the ref was already down. The ref was already distracted. You could have easily had Roman do the crossface spot with the bar. Same thing. Win. The ref comes back. They don't see it, obviously. No DQ. Roman wins. That's still not winning clean, but that's still, like...
Winning clean. You still won on your own.
Exactly. And that's what I want to see out of Roman. So moving forward, and...
I think this next match will be pretty one-on-one. Winner is the winner.
And
I don't see a whole lot of Uso interference on this one.
No, I agree. I don't think there's going to be interference.
I don't think you can taint that match like this.
No, not when it's John Cena.
It's too big. It's too big a match.
Not when it's John Cena. But I'm not convinced that Roman wins.
No, I'm not either. I'm really worried about Roman's reign.
Yeah.
No pun intended. But, I don't think he wins right now. I got to see a little more.
Mm-hmm.
But...
What was it, me last week saying Roman Reigns for the foreseeable future?
Well, we said until we see something that we don't expect.
The head of the table.
Cena was that thing we didn't see coming.
Absolutely. And a pop like I have never heard of.
Oh, yeah. Before. No, that was really, really loud. There's not many pops.
Yeah.
The closest one that I can think of is, if you watched, was Punk coming out of Chicago to fight Cena. That was really, really loud.
Yeah. We had a friend over while we were watching Money in the Bank. He's a diehard Cena fan.
Big Cena guy.
Like, diehard Cena fan. And Cena came out. He almost broke my TV. He, like, rushed the screen.
It was funny, too, because he was, like, right as I said, I was like, someone's coming out.
Yeah.
And I saw the spots get set up.
Yeah.
I was like, someone's coming out. He's like, what the odds of Cena? I'm like, pretty low.
Yeah.
So he starts to put his phone away, and then
sure enough,
the music hits.
Nothing like those horns get you going.
Yeah. We're talking a lot about this.
Yeah, we are talking a lot about it, but it's going to dictate the trajectory of WWE for the next month. So
I think we'll have a whole lot more to say
as
Roman responds on Friday.
Right, when they confront each other again.
So we'll get a little more content out of that.
Yeah.
But moving on to men's Money in the Bank.
Oh, the men's Money in the Bank.
Thought it was really good.
What I have written down, what a phenomenal match.
Yeah.
That's my notes. What a phenomenal match.
It was really, really good.
I mean, maybe aggressive take here, but a top 3 to 5 Money in the Bank match?
I don't think that's that aggressive of a take.
Yeah, I mean, these guys...
Hard. It's hard because there were so many... I mean, this might play to your point. When they started doing the Raw and SmackDown ones.
Yeah.
So, I don't remember a whole lot of those. And they could be good. I don't know.
Yeah.
But 2 Money in the Bank match. I know it's like...
So 2011, like you said. 2011 is another great Money in the Bank match. I know that's not the match you referenced. That's where Daniel Bryan.
He wins that?
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan was Money in the Bank?
Pretty sure.
He did. He catched on Big Show.
Yeah.
I thought that was Edge. No, not Edge. I thought that was Kane. I thought that year.
No, I'm pretty sure 2011 was Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
So that's another one that comes to mind.
That's a really good one.
But
I don't know how good the one Randy one was. I don't remember watching that.
But this one
was really, really good.
From start to finish. And you know what? Let me just cut off here for a second. A little bit of a Grinds My Gear segment. This is a little baby Grinds My Gear segment.
We have a lot bigger one coming
We have a bigger Grinds My Gear, but a little baby Grinds My Gear. What is Peacock doing?
Yeah, Peacock needs to figure it out.
It's an inexcusable error.
Yeah, that's really, really bad.
This is
on Peacock's part.
It is the premier match of the night.
The pay-per-view is called Money in the Bank.
This is the match people are tuning in for. Yes, the main event, Roman Edge, people want to see it. But people tune in for Money in the Bank because it dictates the next year of wrestling.
Unless it's women's.
Then it's 1 hour. It's the next hour of wrestling.
Then it's what happens on Raw.
Yeah. But the men's Money in the Bank tends to dictate a full year of wrestling.
Absolutely. And at least the next 6 months.
And you have 8 guys, 6 of which I could have legitimately seen winning. 6 of them. The only 2 I didn't see winning were Morrison and Ricochet.
Yeah.
So you have 6 guys that could go at it and win, and I missed the first 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Because of Peacock issues. And if we weren't on Twitter, how would I have known that it's restart the...
Yep. Yeah, literally. Unless you have social media, you would never know.
You wouldn't know. And then you're sitting there, your finger up your ass, and you're not watching Money in the Bank.
Yeah, you're just missing out on the most important match of the card.
That's a little...
And I know a lot of people had that, and I'm sure Peacock knows to not ever do that again. And I know you have your issues. There's so much you can control.
Yeah.
7 minutes is a long time. You're a multi-billion-dollar company.
Well,
you should be able to stream a broadcast. And if you have an issue, I get it.
Right.
A minute, couple minutes. 8 minutes is a really, really long time of a wrestling match.
Yeah. And you know what the thing is? I'm not a little kid, I don't necessarily need to see the intros and the
no.
walkout. But if I'm like a parent sitting there watching Peacock with my kid and they don't get to see Matt Riddle come out because
I'd be pissed.
Yeah, they don't get to see Kevin Owens'
their
theme
favorite
song
guys intro come out.
They don't get to see Rick Boogs rock out with Pat McAfee.
Furious.
I'd be losing my mind.
Absolutely. I would absolutely be like contacting Peacock.
Yeah, I lost my mind as it is, but I could just imagine how much worse it would be. And you know, it's a $1 billion deal.
Yeah.
So Peacock, I can't even stress enough how sick of Peacock I am. I've been watching less WWE because of
it's
Peacock.
hard. Also because like their app, you can't rewind.
Nope.
Like you can't go skip to the matches.
That's
you can't
exactly
start from the beginning.
So you're already lagging.
There's
on me.
way too much money invested there to not have these things in place.
Yeah.
They were already in place for the network.
I don't know how you
bring them over.
Just transfer the data right there.
Just bring it over.
That's it.
Also, like these aren't hard things. Like the match things, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's got to go through and find out where the match.
The timestamps.
I get it.
Right.
One, you have them from WWE.
Yep.
Watch from the beginning is like the thing that every streaming service has.
Yep.
Like I don't understand how you don't have that built in already.
Yep.
Especially you can't rewind live events.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on. Gotta be a little better.
I'm almost positive NBC doesn't have a single wrestling fan working on Peacock.
I'm sure they do.
No, they don't have a single one because if they had a wrestling fan working on Peacock, it would be better.
They have none in the higher up. They have no one. Yeah. They have no wrestling fans that are allowed to make decisions.
They saw the value in WWE
and said,
they acquired it and they put it in the closet and forgot all about it.
That's probably right.
And it's killing me. I need it to be.
They got to work on that.
And it's so
and
annoying
hopefully WWE says something to them like, "Hey, yo, what the hell is that?"
It's $1 billion industry.
Like,
fix it.
You got to figure that out. But I don't know.
Yeah. And especially because last point, I don't want to berate this too much, but like, just your $1 billion deal.
Mm-hmm.
You have all the content.
Yep.
Make it work.
Yeah, just make it work.
That's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the go home point.
Just make it work.
Make it work.
Just make it work.
I just don't get it.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's it. That was my that's a little baby segment of grind my gears.
A little rant.
And I think the problem for me even more, and this I drew a blank just there for a second. What I want to say is it's even worse because you go on social media. You see Canada, you see Europe. They're still using the network.
Yeah.
No issues.
It's just U.S. No, Canada might be.
No, Canada's got.
Is it just the United States that's using?
It's killing me.
That's great then.
Killing me. But okay, anyway, Money in the Bank.
Moving on from NBC.
Money in the Bank, like we said, I personally see it as one of the best Money in the Bank ladder matches of all time.
In a while, best one in a while for sure.
Kevin Owens is an absolute madman.
Yeah, he's out of his mind.
An absolute madman.
Yeah. Remember when he said he was taking time off?
Yeah.
What,
he said
3 weeks ago.
He said, "Thanks, guys. All the love and support." Owens
Need
out.
to heal.
He came back the next day with rock tape.
Went through a ladder.
Rock tape.
Yeah. So I'm healed.
He jumped.
I think he took a sensu bean actually.
What was? Him and Goku.
Yeah, him and Goku took sensu beans.
What was the bump he took on Friday?
He went through the. No, he didn't. He jump an elbow on the table.
Yep.
On Shinsuke?
Yeah. That was it. He does that on Friday. Sunday, he comes out, gets suplexed onto the broad side of the ladder. Mm-hmm. Ouch.
Yeah, that's
ouch.
Honestly, that might have been worse than the other spot. I would never take that. He
gets power bombed through a ladder.
Yeah. Yep.
Kevin Owens has been taking some of the worst bumps of any superstar.
Yeah. And I think they use him because he's not afraid of them.
He's not afraid of them.
We'll talk about this a little more later down the road.
With some one in particular,
Candice LeRae
is scared to take bumps.
She's scared to take bumps, which is fine.
Just don't take
the bump.
Right.
And that's how she got hurt.
But Kevin Owens.
Twice.
Yeah.
But Kevin Owens isn't afraid of
Caution to the wind.
So he'll just take the bump, and I think that's why they keep using him.
Yeah. Steadfast through a table. Or a ladder. Or whatever.
Whatever
they decide off a cage, that day. Jump off a 50-foot boat.
Yeah. Okay.
Kevin Owens just goes for it.
Yep.
And I'm not even a big Kevin Owens fan.
No.
I personally don't like the stunner. I don't think it works for him. And the consistent, the chain stunner spot that they had in the match, I hate it.
It's not great.
I hate it. But Kevin Owens deserves a little bit of credit for all the bumps he's taken.
Absolutely.
Another chain spot that worked for me, the RK Bro.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, him taking the RKO was pretty good. I thought Randy was going to come out, to be honest, and RKO him.
Yeah.
That would have been kind of fun.
That would have been a fun way to move forward.
At SummerSlam.
Yeah, and they would tear the house.
I don't know what they're going to do with that. I don't know where Randy's at.
I don't know where Riddle's at now. What's next for him?
He was tweeting like crazy on Tuesday. So.
Yeah.
He's a big
NXT
NXT guy, apparently.
Yeah. But the chain RKO spot was good. Ricochet spot, as we said before, nuts.
Yeah, a lot of good spots.
Absolutely nuts.
And it flowed well.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot of downtime, which is good.
I think every superstar got their fair chance, their fair shake at showing off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And funny enough, I think the superstar that got the least amount of TV time was Big E.
Absolutely.
And then Big E comes out victorious.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of where I'm at with the 8 versus 6 people in the ladder match.
Right.
Like 6, it's a little less cluttered. You know what's going on more.
Mm-hmm.
But having 8 people
keeps the tempo.
Keeps the action moving.
Keeps the tempo.
Like, there's always something going on. So that's really good, but I don't know. It depends. I think the women would benefit more from 6.
I was about to say, I know you can't do one.
Probably better with 8.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know you can't do one and not the other.
I think you could.
They would have a shit fit.
I don't think so.
The internet would probably lose their mind if you broadcasted, you're showcasing 8 male superstars and not 8 female superstars.
Yeah, I guess. But I think it would be a better match.
I think it would be a better match, too. Especially, like we said, there was no place for Tamina, really.
Yeah, no.
But
I don't think there's... I mean, no disrespect to Natalia. I think she had no
She could have been out of it, too.
Wasn't really...
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason for her to be
Whatever. No reason to revisit that.
Yeah.
But...
Biggie?
The big ending, off the ladder.
That was a good spot. That was a really, really good spot.
And Seth selling it.
Yeah, Seth's a company guy.
Seth sells it.
Yeah, Seth does sell. He's one of the better sellers in WWE.
Right. So...
Him, Johnny, Theory.
What are the implications of Big E winning Money in the Bank? Let's just talk this through for a second.
I know you were really big on him and Roman.
No, I was big on him and Lashley.
Him and Lashley.
Yeah.
And I wasn't buying in on that. I know Big E's like a good guy, but Big E's also not an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Big E's going to take an opportunity when he sees an opportunity.
Right.
Also, learn from Dolph Ziggler. He was right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they'll reference that at some point down the line. I think him and Ziggler can honestly feud. That would be interesting, actually, on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Keep them both a little relevant. Keep Big E doing something with the briefcase, but not in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't think he's going to be the handshake, let's fight kind of guy.
Yeah.
That you thought he was going to be.
Yeah, I see that, especially after how Monday played out. But I think Big E might end up holding the briefcase for a little while.
Yeah.
Because the title picture on both sides is a little bit cluttered moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Especially into SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No
right into SummerSlam. So I could see one of two things happening. Big E holds it for a long time, or Big E cashes in on the winner of Bobby and Goldberg at SummerSlam.
I think it'd be more likely Roman or Drew. Not Drew, I'm so sorry. John.
I just disagree because I think that, I mean, don't put too much into the dirt.
If John wins, it definitely won't be cashed in on him.
No.
Because if John gets 17, he's going to have a month-long celebration.
Yeah, it's going to be the king is home.
Yeah, that'll be the longest celebration of all time. They're going to have the entire Raw.
Right.
It's just going to be John, like, drinking champagne.
Right. And I don't want to do, again, I don't do too much into the dirt sheets.
Mm-hmm.
But they're saying Big E, when the draft comes around, it's reuniting the New Day. So
I don't know. Maybe.
And that's also implying that, Lashley holds it through September.
That is true. The draft's in right after SummerSlam?
I think they put it late September or early October now.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that Big E is a good guy to have it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Big E had a genuine emotional reaction of winning.
Absolutely.
It was nice to see somebody.
And they did a good job of just leaving the camera on him.
Yeah, let Big E
him react.
Yeah.
And that was good.
It was good to see. Big E puts on good matches.
Yeah, he does.
I got nothing to complain about Big E. He's good on the mic, good in the ring.
You love that he does the New Day entrance live every time.
Yeah. It gets me every time when he goes, "It's a new day." It gets me, man. It gets me every time. But I don't know. I like Big E. I just don't know if I can see him in the current landscape of WWE.
But that's what's so great about
That's what's great about Money in the Bank. No, you're so right.
It could be next March.
You're so right.
Who knows where we're
at. It dictates WWE for a year.
Yeah.
But in the current landscape, I don't know where it goes.
He's going to have to hold it for a little while.
Yeah.
At least through SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one more pay-per-view.
Right.
At least.
Yeah, so let's talk about why. So Cena, obviously. But Goldberg's back.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Last week we briefly mentioned a little segment called Give Me the Pencil.
Yes.
So we're going to do a little bit more explaining about that this week, and I'm gonna do one. Basically, I'm just going to take a current running WWE storyline or pretty recently passed storyline and kind of just rewrite it, not necessarily to be better or worse, maybe just a little different.
Just what we would have done. Well,
not
what he would
necessarily
have done.
even.
Yeah.
Just if it would go another way, how would I do it?
Mm-hmm.
And I know some other channels and stuff do similar things with a little more past storylines. So I'm going to kind of keep it recent to not look like I'm stealing people's ideas or anything. But Biggie still wins Money in the Bank. Kofi Kingston beats Bobby Lashley. Xavier comes out, celebrating like crazy. Xavier hits Kofi. He starts beating up Kofi. Biggie comes running out without the briefcase. Big endings Xavier. Tosses him out of the ring. Starts helping up Kofi. Out of the corner of the camera, you see the Money in the Bank briefcase slide in as Xavier throws it in. Then Biggie hits Kofi. Wins WWE Championship.
Yeah.
I think that would be the double shock factor of,
yeah, man.
wow, Xavier was the one, not Biggie.
Yeah.
And then also it's like, okay, all right, Biggie's doing the right thing.
And then they're in cahoots.
And then it's,
wow.
Because then you run with, we helped you with this twice and you never gave us nothing.
Never fed us back.
It was always tag titles for us, WWE Championship for you.
Always United States title for Kofi, Intercontinental. Yeah,
we were always helping. Yeah.
Dude,
I thought that would have been really fun.
You know what's
really
fun about this segment is I don't hear these ideas beforehand.
I just come up with
This is great for me too. I would have loved that.
And I think I don't
think
think Biggie and Kofi would be your SummerSlam main event match, but that's a great match. They would have a great match.
You open the car with Biggie and Kofi?
Yeah, I think
so.
You
imagine the tempo?
That'd be awesome.
The tempo set for that?
Yeah, for sure.
And if we're, staying the course here, you could still have Lashley and Goldberg without that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need the belt on this.
Mm-hmm.
This title match. So, two things. For this scenario, this hypothetical scenario, you don't need the title on Lashley and Goldberg. That match can happen.
I think you might have needed it for Brock. You definitely don't need it for Goldberg.
And you would have had nuclear heat on Big E.
Oh,
he would have been the most hated superstar, honestly, almost ever.
In a really long time.
In almost ever.
He would have been way more hated than Roman.
Oh,
by
infinitely more.
So much.
But now back to real life, talking about Lashley and Goldberg.
I was a little disappointed. I was just so let down.
You know what? We talked about it last week, probably more than we should have, because we should have known WWE would find a way to mess it up. Mm-hmm. But we kept saying collision course of Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar.
I just think Brock didn't want to. No, but I don't understand it.
Maybe he doesn't want to lose to Lashley. Maybe that's
got to be what it is. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Goldberg cannot win.
Goldberg cannot win.
It's physically impossible. Goldberg's last two matches,
mm-hmm.
he lost.
Yeah.
To Braun Strowman,
mm-hmm.
Drew McIntyre,
mm-hmm.
who Bobby has beaten at the same time and individually.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make any sense.
Look, I understand you got Goldberg's contract. You got to figure it out. Got to get those matches out.
But
and maybe
somebody else.
Maybe that's it, because Goldberg, he draws the fans back. You like him or not, the crowd popped for Goldberg.
Somebody else.
But
the internet was not happy.
Dude,
from what I was reading, they were pissed.
You take Bobby Lashley, and you make him dominate a fan favorite like Kofi Kingston, mm-hmm. and then you bring out Goldberg.
Yeah.
You want the crowd to boo your heel champion.
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley's going to get all the love at SummerSlam.
I think so. I think so, too.
You're going to think Bobby Lashley is the face that runs the place.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to think it's John Cena.
Not to sound pretentious here, but the people that pay to go to SummerSlam are not going to be the same people that pay to go to Raw. And I know how that sounds.
Yeah, so you're right. So
but it's a little bit different No, I think it's the opposite. I think a little more of a hardcore fan would go to SummerSlam than a Raw.
Oh, I think the opposite. I think that it's an event.
It's more expensive.
Right. That's why I think it's...
I don't know. Yeah. I think Raw is a little more hey, let's go hang out at Raw with some friends kind of thing. Where SummerSlam's we're not dropping $250 to go hang out and watch wrestling.
If I'm not $700 for a flight. Yeah.
Yeah, unless I'm a wrestling fan.
Yeah. So I guess that's true.
Some of our casual friends will come to a Raw.
Yeah, or SmackDown.
Our casual friends won't come to SummerSlam for $250.
Super SmackDown, September 10th. MSG.
We'll
See you there. Live podcast.
Yeah.
Nah, not really. Not
kinda.
really.
We'll vlog.
Yeah, but
we'll talk about it.
But yeah, Bill Goldberg.
Just not doing it for me anymore.
They call him Oldberg for a reason, you know.
Yeah.
And look, as a child, as a kid growing up as a wrestling fan,
probably awesome.
Love Goldberg.
Yeah, sick.
Love Goldberg. I'm sure kids now love Goldberg. Yeah. They hear their dad talk about how great Goldberg was. That's the key point. And keeping on track of and people that should not be winning when they're old. You want to take this one? Or do you want me to?
You want to take this one?
Ladies and gentlemen, on this week's full segment of Grind My Gears, let me tell you what grinds my gears. I think, same as, I guess, 90% of the internet, that Jeff Hardy has no business beating Karrion Kross.
He has no business competing.
He has no business competing. Jeff Hardy has been a jobber for the last year to a year and a half. No disrespect to Jeff. An all-time great.
Just not anymore.
But was. And let me tell you, I am a huge Karrion Kross fan. A huge Karrion Kross fan. So to see him build as a champion, as a dominant superstar, as the TikTok destroyer, like he might as well be Bray Wyatt, destroyer of worlds, because he has dominated.
It's Galactus.
Start to finish, he has dominated in NXT. And then when he got hurt and they stripped the title of him, he came back and still didn't lose.
Yep.
Still didn't lose. Karrion Kross' first singles loss in WWE came as a roll-up to Jeff Hardy.
In his debut on Raw. This is not Johnny Gargano coming up and losing to Jeff Hardy, which I still wouldn't like, but I would be believable. I would understand it.
This is Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross is billed as a killer.
Yep.
As a killer. And it drives me up a wall to see somebody that they put a year worth of work into.
That is the one thing that I did see a tweet about. I don't remember who it was, but this is not only disrespectful to Triple H and Karrion Kross. This is disrespectful to Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano,
Finn Balor,
yep. Pete Dunne, Kyle O'Reilly.
The entire...
Who worked their asses off to make Kross look like a monster.
Samoa Joe, too.
Oh, a little later, but yeah, still. Samoa Joe, too. And now you embarrass the entire NXT brand.
It's got me so fired up because Karrion Kross has all of the tools to be a star on the main roster. They
and
not
you took Scarlett
that's
off
what I was about
him.
to say. They not only made him lose,
take Scarlett off him?
They ruined his entrance.
His entrance sucked.
His entrance is so stale without Scarlett. He just walks down.
No fog.
Nothing.
No nothing.
And look, guys, we said it last week, and we'll say it again. Scarlett's hot. It makes people want to watch TV. It gets Kross over.
She's also really good for his character. Yeah. She's good for his character.
We don't need to rehash everything from last week. But the demon hands, the sharp nails, the screaming.
You guys watch.
She's an integral part of his character, and they just stripped it from him.
Yep.
So they stripped his undefeated streak. Yep. They strip his entrance.
Just give Jeff the belt at that point.
Jeff Hardy might as well be NXT champion. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really bad.
And look, I was fuming about it, and I was the biggest doubter. I was like, there's no way Kross recovers now. NXT is done for. And they did. They really made NXT look bad. But the creative genius that is Triple H or whoever wrote it, they kind of brought Kross back.
I mean...
They kind of brought Kross back.
They did a good job of covering it up.
Right.
But the problem is we still know.
Exactly. That's what I think I tweeted something along those lines.
Here's what I think you really do. The next time Kross has a match and they show his little graphic, you put undefeated in NXT. Don't say WWE, just undefeated in singles competition in NXT.
Yeah.
Don't even acknowledge it.
Don't address it.
He is undefeated still. Just move on.
And just to build on it a little bit more, because
the problem is he's going to be on Raw this Monday, and they're going to blow it again.
And they're going to keep doing it. Yep. They're going to build. Yep. They might have Karrion Kross versus Jeff Hardy at SummerSlam. I'm not even joking.
I really hope not.
They might drag this to SummerSlam, and
I think he'll definitely lose his belt on Sunday. Oh, I don't know. It's going to be interesting actually, because normally they do you lose your belt Saturday so you can compete Sunday
but
as
now
a wrestler.
Now it's vice versa.
Now I don't know what they're going to do.
They have SummerSlam going on Saturday,
and Takeover on Sunday.
Takeover. The main roster show on Sunday. But let me just finish my thought for a second. The way Samoa Joe freaked out about Kross the entire episode, making Kross the focal point of the episode, and then ending the episode with just a small back vignette of him choking out Regal, where you don't even see it.
Yeah.
It honestly, for me, it made me okay with him back on NXT, like so long as they don't address the loss.
Yeah.
Because the way Samoa Joe said it, he took a vacation to Raw. That's fine.
That's fine.
Don't tell me what happened.
Just he was on Raw.
Don't tell me what happened.
That's all that happened. In NXT's canon, he was on Raw.
Yep.
That's all you have to talk about.
NXT, undefeated in singles competition.
Yep.
That's it. I mean,
We could talk about this all day,
Yeah,
to be honest.
I could just go all day. It got me so frustrated. It actually took me out of the rest of Raw. So
it was really hard to recover from there.
Yeah, so like...
I was just so shocked.
And then you have such a big event at the end of that, at the end of Raw, and I was just so down already.
Yeah, but that's a whole nother thing that I didn't really like. Well, I mean, first of all, happy for Nikki Cross as a person.
Nikki Ash,
whatever her real name is. Good for her. Like, she does work. She was close to the SmackDown belt a few times. Like, good for her. Happy for her. Not the time. It's not the time.
So, this is... Go ahead. No, you finish.
No, I have a whole thing, so go ahead.
This is just my end. Good for Nikki, whatever. Not her time. But this is more about Charlotte. She hasn't had a meaningful title reign in God knows how long. Maybe
ever. Mine is more about... Let's put Raw and SmackDown side by side for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Here's your two matches for SummerSlam we know for sure from SmackDown. Mm-hmm. Roman Reigns, the head of the table, the tribal chief, versus the face that runs the place, John Cena.
Yep, must-see TV.
The Messiah, Seth Rollins, versus the rated R superstar Edge.
Must-see
Those are the
TV.
guaranteed matches we have for SmackDown.
Right.
Raw. Bobby and Goldberg. We'll put money in the seats.
Yeah.
But leave some to be desired.
Right.
Nikki Ash and who?
Triple threat. It's going to be a triple threat. It's not even a doubt in my mind.
I think you guys see the point I'm making here.
Mm-hmm. That this is where you're going.
We're not comparing these two things. Like, these aren't even...
And it's so frustrating because Raw has... It's a 3-hour show. You got to fill the show. But you have talent, and then somehow this is what you end up with. And again, good for Nikki. Mm-hmm. She's good. She's talented. She took this idea. I was reading that she pitched this idea. This is all
good for her then. I didn't know that.
So she took it and got over with it. But
so you're wrong by the cross thing.
Yeah, that was wrong.
Or they're like, hey, you need a new character.
Could either way.
But still, same point. Good for her.
I don't know where you go from there. A couple like quick thoughts I had about Raw, just like bullet points to run through them. I know we're running a little long. Is Miz almost healthy and ready to go?
I don't know. I know he was not fine, but he was walking. He can walk, first of all. He's not actually in a wheelchair. He can walk. He was at the MLB Celebrity Softball game. I don't know what he did to his knee. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's either partially torn and he's rehabbing it or what it is. But he's not 9 months out. I don't know how soon that looks.
Yeah.
But
I only ask because the way the 6-man title match went to open the show, kind of looked like they're building AJ Omos
6-man tag match, you mean? You said title match.
Oh, yeah, sorry. 6-man tag. Jeez.
The Viking Raiders one?
Yeah. It looked, the way it ended, almost looks like they're trying to build a little AJ Omos, Miz and Morrison.
I don't know.
It could be a one-off, but just
I think that's just their comedy gimmick.
Yeah, just something to think about.
I think that's all it is.
Yeah.
And Ricochet is the clever opportunist.
It was Riddle.
Riddle also. Both of them.
Both of them clever opportunists.
But yeah, I think that's really what that was.
Shout out to Reggie.
Yeah, good for Reggie.
Shout out to Reggie.
Getting dumped and then 24/7 champion.
Can't keep him down. Shout out to
Reggie.
Really
athletic guy.
Very
athletic guy.
Was it Cirque du Soleil?
I think he was Cirque du Soleil.
So good for Reggie.
Cool to see him he'll be moderately relevant on TV.
Yeah, I like a little solo Reggie. I don't need him to cut promos or whatever, but
let him do his
he's athletic. He's fun to watch. If you're going to have people run around with the 24/7 title, why not Reggie?
Absolutely.
Kind of touch on it. Sheamus Priest.
I'm excited. We'll see what goes.
It probably...
I need a little more first.
Mid-card title match at SummerSlam.
I don't think it's going that long.
I mean, we got to fill the card. It's going to be a 4-hour pay-per-view. Got to fill the card.
I don't think it's going that long.
All right, we'll see. Keith Lee is back.
Yeah, and I was pretty upset at first. I think you guys saw my tweet the day of beforehand.
Yep.
And I think it worked out for both of them. Bobby got a relatively dominant win. Mm-hmm. Keith came back, put on a pretty good performance.
Right.
And that's that.
So for me,
then he'll be on TV.
Yeah, for me, I like Keith Lee coming out in that situation. Keith Lee lost nothing, but
gained a lot.
So you see Keith Lee
and
now.
Bobby honestly gained some.
Right.
And the way they're building Keith is he's walking down, and then Bobby beats him pretty handily.
I think I read something like Keith's only losses are to Drew and.
He beat Randy every time too.
It's Drew and Lashley.
And Bobby, he did beat Randy every time.
And that's awesome. That's a phenomenal record.
Yeah, it is. That's really good.
For me, Keith Lee being back, you have an upper mid card to main card guy.
Yeah.
It works. Yeah. And he loses nothing by losing to Lashley.
Absolutely not.
Now you see Keith Lee, and
he's
you
on
equate
TV.
you equate
him fighting the Bob Lash.
You equate him with the title picture.
Yeah.
So good for Keith Lee. Yeah. Welcome back. Cena and Riddle, bro.
That was so stupid.
I don't know what it was. I was about to say, I don't know what it was.
It was all right.
But I liked it.
It was kind of funny. That's all I got.
Yeah. Don't know what it was, but I liked it. I don't know. What else you got?
NXT. Austin Theory leaving the way.
Yeah. Austin Theory
first
leaving
of all,
the way.
We're not big on Kyle here.
Yeah. Here I have.
I think Kyle's biggest problem is I don't feel like he has a style.
Yep.
I feel like he wants to have a style.
Yep.
And that doesn't really help him much.
Mm-hmm.
But Theory's phenomenal. Theory is going to be a mega star.
Absolutely.
What is he, 24?
Mm-hmm.
Shielded out of stone.
Yeah.
Sells with the best of them.
I mean, Austin Theory, top-level athlete.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of the stuff he pulls off with the rolling jumps, everything like that. Top-level athlete, strong.
Yep.
Has the look that WWE likes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think there is no ceiling for him right now.
No. And I think the belt getting moved off Cross and probably onto Samoa Joe and then probably onto someone else relatively fast, I would think, is going to really benefit Theory because I think it'll give him more opportunities.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's great.
I think as a whole right now, and this is not to slant NXT at all because I think they do put on great shows, it's kind of hitting a lull for me.
I just think it was also just the hangover we knew Cross lost.
Yeah, that could be it. But
it just put a damper on everything. I think this was just like they haven't had anything big in a while other than the Bash.
Right.
And starting the next 2 weeks, I think we'll start to get the build
up
towards
into takeover. Right.
So I just think we're at the weird lull point.
Yeah.
I think that's where we're at with the main roster too, except for the main stories going on.
Yeah, the two big stories going on.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I think that we are all but guaranteed Karrion Kross versus Samoa Joe.
Oh, 100%. That's happening. 100%.
I'm glad to see it because I think Joe's been cleared, like I said last week. It's all been a build. It's going to be a great match.
Yep, absolutely.
It's going to be real physical.
It's going to be really, really good.
It'll fit both of their styles really well.
Yeah, because they're both like that fast, slow pace. It's kind of weird.
Right. It's exactly that. It's a fast, slow pace. They hit big spots, big moments, but they dictate the tempo. I like that.
Hopefully Xia Li is okay. Xia Li.
Yeah,
Xia Li.
it's
I know
really,
it's Gia. It should be Gia. That's how it's
really unfortunate injury.
Yeah, that's tough because
she was hitting her
I
stride.
think Raquel just hit her a little too solid, and that's not really Raquel's fault.
No, I mean
she's just a big girl.
Twisting Vader bomb.
Yeah, she's just a big girl and just happened to land a little too solid on a small girl, and that's unfortunate.
And
shout out to her for finishing the match.
Yeah, what a stud.
Yeah, that's a gutsy thing to do.
My rib is broken. Just get up and slam me on my rib.
Yeah, that's good for her. Hopefully she's okay.
Yeah, and it's a shame because she really was hitting her stride.
Yeah,
she was coming along real well. She'll be back, I hope.
Yeah, absolutely. She'll be back soon. Ribs aren't too bad. Nobody's a couple of weeks.
I have a low point written here. Diamond Mine losing already.
Yeah. It's okay, though. I don't love it, but it's okay.
I mean, Tyler Rust was losing. Left, comes back with Roddy in the Diamond Mine, thinking like, okay, character revitalization, a diamond in the Rust.
Yeah.
And
loses
again. I don't think Kushida should be losing, but you can have Bobby Fish lose there.
Yeah, you probably could have, or just like DQ him.
DQ, you have two other people out there for Diamond Mine.
Just
get involved.
Just get involved.
The
Bobby Fish Roddy feud is weird. We'll talk about it another day when we have a little more time.
Yeah,
it's weird. I don't get it.
I
know Vic touched on it actually.
Why do they hate each other? They were boys for the Undisputed Era.
It was weird.
The breakup was Cole and O'Reilly.
Yep.
Just a little foreshadowing for next week. Not really looking forward to Bronson Reed versus Adam Cole.
Nah, I mean they'll put on a good match.
Will they?
Yeah, because Adam Cole can go with anybody.
Yeah.
We're not big on Bronson. I think he's okay.
There's a place for Bronson Reed.
There's
a place for Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
And I just don't think it's with Adam Cole.
That's probably fair.
What else did I hate about NXT? Legato and Hit Row.
I do not like Hit Row. I don't. Now, if you didn't know that, now you know.
Yeah, if you don't know, now you know.
That
we don't like Hit Row.
No, yeah. I hate Top Dollar.
Everything doesn't have to be a rap.
It's so stupid.
Everything doesn't have to be. And
rappers don't talk like that.
No, and he's a believable big guy is the thing.
He is. He's not bad in the. None of them are. They're all pretty good. I don't know about the girl. I've never seen her wrestle.
Right.
But they're all pretty good in the ring.
Swerve is a good wrestler.
Swerve is good.
Adonis can go.
is good.
And
Top Dollar is good from what we've seen.
He's a good big guy. Yeah.
but like rappers don't rap all the time.
No,
they just don't do that.
They don't.
Not that I'm like best friends with rappers, but I've seen them talk.
Yeah, I've watched an interview before.
They don't just rap everything.
And that's the thing is like they're good.
But
all individually are good, and the group, they have potential to be good, but they just don't have to force everything to be,
this is one of those
mixtape,
times
a hit piece. Like,
don't double down.
Right.
Just back off just a little bit,
right,
and you'll catch more people.
Because Swerve was cutting good promos.
Yeah, he was.
A month ago.
Yeah, he really was.
A month ago.
Yeah.
And Adonis was wrestling on 205 Live.
Yep.
A month ago. Well.
Yep.
I mean, what was he wearing though? Those boots. Dude.
Yeah, that was a terrible outfit, but that's a whole other conversation.
And I'm a little jaded because, I mean, we're Santos guys.
Love Santos. Best in NXT in my opinion. Still.
I need Legato to go to Raw.
No, you don't.
I do.
Nope.
I know after what they did to Cross, you don't want to see anybody on Raw.
I don't want to see anyone. Any Mexican superstar needs to stay the hell away from Raw.
Yeah, before they all end up like Andrade.
If you're not Rey Mysterio, you will not succeed.
You're fired.
Just does not go well.
Oh, dude. Where the hell have you been?
Yeah, that was good. That was good out of Vince. I had one more thing from NXT. I don't remember what it was, so it probably wasn't that important.
Probably not that important. Index? No. Dexter Loomis?
Nah, who cares?
Index. Oh! I can't believe we're about to sign off without talking about the Breakout Tournament.
Oh, Odyssey Jones, our guy.
We almost signed off.
No, that's what it was.
Without talking about
so it was very important.
The Breakout Tournament. I mean, guys, this man, Odyssey Jones,
looks real good.
He is going to be a bona fide star.
Absolutely.
I'm sure he'll be the first to tell you he's got some work to do. He had a couple spots that didn't look great.
Yeah.
And before I gas him up too much, but he's only been doing it for a little bit. Mm-hmm. This guy, the energy he brings out.
Absolutely.
His music hits, and he comes out like a bat out of hell.
He's
fired up.
Crazy.
The crowd loves him. Yeah. I love him.
And that's what Vic was saying. The charisma he brings, just the energy he brings every time.
Guys, 6'5", 405. Yeah. And sure, the numbers are probably boosted a little bit, just a touch. The guy moves.
6'4", 380 even?
The guy moves.
That roll.
The thing is, look, no disrespect to Keith Lee. I like Keith Lee, and he's doing great things. But Odyssey Jones has the movement that they think Keith Lee has.
Yeah, absolutely.
Odyssey Jones flies for a big guy.
And he did a flying crossbody. Yeah. I think the guy got a little scared. Because I mean, don't blame him.
It's a big boy.
But that's why I looked a little sloppy, I think, personally.
Yeah.
But gets around the ring.
Odyssey Jones, man. I saw we posted a little bit earlier before recording, said, hit us with your hot takes. And, on Instagram, somebody said, Odyssey Jones, Intercontinental Champion 2022 SummerSlam. With the way things are going,
I don't hate that.
If he touches up a little bit,
I don't hate that at all.
Why stop at the Breakout Tournament?
Yeah, no.
He's electric.
Yeah.
The internet loves him. Mm-hmm. You can't find a single bad thing about him when he's wrestling.
No. A lot of people are comparing him to
Mark Henry.
It's
Mark Henry.
And I think he's more athletic than Mark Henry. Probably not as strong.
And
that's no disrespect.
I mean, 800-pound deadlift.
Yes, but Mark Henry is one of the strongest men ever.
But yeah.
He's got it all.
And
doing really well.
The new finisher he had, it was like
I don't know what that is.
It looked like he was about to hit a deep six and then transition to a rock bottom. Like
it was weird. It was like a clothesline rock bottom. I don't know what to call it.
I don't know what to call it either.
I liked it.
If he mixes that in with the world's strongest slam that he hit the week before, I mean, Odyssey.
I love that.
Honestly, I feel like the sky's the limit for this guy.
Absolutely. All right.
I can't say enough good things. And the little backstage vignette they posted.
Yeah.
Him and Duke.
That's
6'5", Duke.
Apologies to Duke Hudson for forgetting your name last week.
But Duke.
If you're watching, Duke, we will remember now.
Yeah, Duke, friend of the program.
Friend of the program. Love Duke. Big, nice guy.
Yeah.
Shook his hand.
Can't say enough good things,
man.
Yeah.
So to wrap this up, I'm going to catch you off guard. Another match prediction for the week. What do you got? What do you got for us?
Oh, me moving forward?
Just pick one. Just anything. Could be anything. Could be a Raw. Could be a ECW match.
EC Dub. Yeah, we're going to get the return of EC Dub. We're getting Rob Van Dam versus... No, let me think.
Versus Cena. That's a good match.
Cena's going to be on SmackDown.
You do a Cena match, I'll do a... No, I don't know.
No. I'm going to go ahead and I'm saying...
Try to avoid SummerSlam if you can.
Yeah.
Because we'll save those for
we'll
later
save
down the line.
SummerSlam spoilers. But I think this week on SmackDown, I know we spoke about it, the Rolling Loud. I'm rolling with that. I like Naomi as the come out, not Toni Storm.
Oh no, I meant like a match recommendation for them to watch for the week more than that.
Oh,
like we did with Money in the Bank.
Oh, yeah, of course. I have one of those, dude.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
A throwback match of the week.
Throwback match of the week.
I actually have it right here.
Do you really?
4.5 stars.
Wow. Okay.
Throwback.
Okay.
Fully loaded 2000.
Oh, I just watched this.
So this came up on my Peacock recommended.
It's a good
so
match.
the
Which
only
one?
good thing, the only good thing Peacock's ever done was give me this as a recommended pay-per-view. Fully loaded 2000. The second to last match. Triple H. Chris Jericho, last man standing.
It's a great match.
Let me tell you, these two guys, 2000 Triple H might have been the best Triple H ever.
Yeah, he's up there. He was jacked. Huge.
And Jericho was hitting his stride as, moving his way up from mid-card to main card and being just a pain in the ass, just a needle in the side. And, dude, when I tell you, that match is phenomenal. So good. And,
really good.
While you're at it, just watch the pay-per-view full through at main events with The Rock versus Benoit.
Another great
really
match.
good as well.
Another great match.
So that's my match of the week.
I'm going to do mine's kind of a longer match, so make sure you have time. And you got to watch a little bit of the build-up. 2009 Royal Rumble. Right after Randy punted Vince. Didn't know if he was going to be suspended, kicked out of WWE.
It's a good Rumble.
Great Rumble. Give it a watch. You know where to find it. Peacock. Thank you guys for tuning in once again.
Yeah. That's episode 2. Money in the Bank recap.
Once again.
Where the hell have you been?
Instagram, at @WrestleHold_pod. Twitter, @WrestleHold_pod. YouTube, Wrestle Podcast, but search @WrestleHold_pod to find us.
Yeah. Subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
We are on Spotify as well. Same thing, @Wrestle_pod. Apple Podcast we are working on. Should have that up very soon.
Look, guys, I know we're just getting started. We're not perfect, but we appreciate you, tagging along, giving us the support.
Yep.
So throw a like, subscribe if you can. Everything counts. We really appreciate it.
Any kind of feedback, any kind of interactions really helps.
Yeah. If you guys got constructive criticism, I had a couple friends reach out and give me some pointers, so I do appreciate everything. Thanks again, guys.
All right, guys. Signing off.
Peace.